Alright, as you all know that last year Triumph launched the Speed 400, and during the launch their biggest selling point was the service interval for this bike. As per Triumph, they have claimed the service interval is going to be 16,000 kilometers. Is it true that this bike will last 16,000 kilometers with one service only? As per my experience, no, it will not going to last 16,000 kilometers. First of all, you need to understand what all components are going to be changed when you usually have a service of your motorcycle. So first is the engine oil, which usually gets changed, air filter, oil filter, and sometimes the brake pads and the tires as well. In my personal experience, first thing is I bought this motorcycle last year on 12th of September, and on 13th of October the first service was done. It was close to 1200 kilometers that time, and the mechanics and the service manager said now the next service is going to be 1 year, or it is going to be 10,000 kilometers or 16,000 kilometers. Now why I am mentioning that 10,000 kilometers or 16,000 kilometers is, the reason is some of the mechanics were saying, sir, it is not 16,000 kilometers. 16,000 kilometers is for the European conditions, and the service manager was emphasizing that, sir, the next service interval is 16,000 kilometers. Okay, let me share my experience in the past, I would say 8 months of owning this machine and completing almost close to 11,000 kilometers. So back in January this year, the bike was around 5,200 kilometers on the auto reading, and I get to know that the engine oil condition is really bad. The HP Pro Lube, in my previous video I have already mentioned that this is that HP Pro Lube is not a good engine oil. So I quickly updated the engine oil from HP Pro Lube to Motul 300 V Square. Then the second thing is, close to around 7,000 kilometers I checked the air filter, and air filter was also not in good condition. So two of the things, the oil filter or the oil and the air filter is not going to last 15,000 kilometers as per the Indian condition. See, in our country the temperature varies a lot, and there is too much pollution and dust. So considering those external factors, I'm sure that any motorcycle will not be able to complete more than 10,000 kilometers as a service interval. Now when I'm close to 11,000 kilometers, I figured out that the last engine oil change where I upgraded from Motul 300 V Square is also now getting black, or I would say is losing its viscosity. So it's time to change the engine oil again, and this time I'm going to upgrade to Motul 7100 10W50. It is again fully synthetic engine oil, and I have used that engine oil for almost 6 years in my another motorcycle, so I am quite sure it will last almost 8 or 9,000 kilometers on this one.